Hello! So today we will be learning about aerobic respiration, and our learning objective is to understand what aerobic respiration is. Our leading question is, how does aerobic respiration work? And also, what happens after organs produce glucose? How do cells transfer energy? Well, first of all, your body needs energy to do everything it needs to do. And you get your energy from organic molecules in the food we eat. And to get the energy stored in food, glucose joins with oxygen, and this chemical reaction transfers the energy that is stored in food into our cells. During this chemical reaction, waste products such as water and carbon dioxide are also produced. And this chemical reaction is called aerobic respiration. But what is respiration? Well, respiration is when you inhale and exhale air. And inhale is when you breathe in air, and exhale is when you breathe out air. But where does this respiration specifically happen? Respiration happens in a tiny structure inside your cells called mitochondria. And all cells contain different amounts of mitochondria. And for example, muscle cells carry out a lot of respiration, so they contain a large amount of mitochondria compared to the other cells. How does glucose get into cells? First of all, glucose is a carbohydrate that is found in food. And when digestion breaks down the food into smaller molecules, it releases glucose molecules, and these molecules are absorbed by the wall of our small intestine, and it goes into our bloodstream. Glucose is transported around our body and carried around our body inside our blood, and it dissolves into this liquid part of your blood called plasma, and the glucose that has been dissolved diffuses into cells that need it for respiration. How does oxygen get into cells? When we breathe in, oxygen fills our alveoli, which is this part of our lungs, with oxygen. And after that, oxygen diffuses into our bloodstream. And oxygen is carried around our body by red blood cells, and in red blood cells they contain a substance called hemoglobin. And this substance is actually the substance that makes the blood cells actually red. And when oxygen joins with the hemoglobin, it gets carried around the body inside our blood vessels. And when the oxygen and hemoglobin that has been joined reaches a cell that requires oxygen, it diffuses inside the cell. How does carbon dioxide leave the body? If carbon dioxide leaves in our body, I don't think it will be very pleasant. And we get rid of the carbon dioxide that has been in our body when we exhale. And then carbon dioxide that has been produced during respiration is diffused into our cells, and then it goes inside the blood plasma. Do you remember what plasma is? Well, to give another review, plasma is the liquid part of our blood, and when the blood is transported inside to our lungs, where it diffuses into our air sac, it is exhaled. And so that is basically how aerobic respiration works. See you next time. Goodbye. No, wait, not goodbye. To give you a simple definition of aerobic respiration, it is basically when, well, it's basically when the energy inside our food is transported into our cells through the glucose. And also, to give you an interesting fact, do you remember when I said that the reactions that are happening, are inside the mitochondria? Well, these reactions are all contained by the protein that makes your that increases the rate of our reactions faster, which is called enzymes. Yes, and now it's finally a farewell goodbye. Goodbye.